A warm welcome back to the Western Wilds on Farming Simulator 22 for episode 24 with me, MrSealyp. We're into July, and as you've already seen, I did do some pallets over to, I've done it again, planks over to the train yard, because the big field, and I'm going to show that on the way back, has been done. It took a long time, and it took a lot of sugar cane seed. Even buying the pallets, the 2,000 litre pallets at 380 compared to a 1,000 litre pallet at 1,000 something. 16,000 litres into the seeder planter every time. I lost count of how many times I refilled it. So I thought if I do a load of planks, sell those, that covers the cost of what the seed cost me. That's done. My productions overnight, our farm supplies production with our grass hay, as you can see, that's down to 969,000 litres of grass. However, silage, we've got 445,000 litres sitting there waiting to come over. Plus I've got 108,000 sitting in the trailer, and 180,000 it's full in the biogas plant. That all came, I mean, the production on that has been incredible. I've got digestate 1,397. I've moved the digestate out. That's now being processed as fertilizer, somewhere up there or somewhere down. So that's now being processed. Because I left at the biogas plant, bottom right, silage, like I said, 180,000 litres in there. Manure I topped up. That's been chugging away for the last 24 hours. So I had 57,000 litres of methane. That's full. That's got to be delivered already, and I haven't even started today's production. So this is the monthly selling productions. All the potatoes have been bought over, 64,000 litres. I've left about 10,000 litres? 16, anyway, I've left some potatoes because they're going to go over to the food production facility. So what I'm going to do now is switch these on and get this going. Silage we've got in. Potatoes we've got in. We do have a little bit of slurry from the cows, about 8,000 litres. I could bring that over and get that going as well. And right, that's going. So that's going to fill up fairly quickly. The other thing we want to look at is up to the top. We're into July, and good news. My barley field is ready to harvest. What is more worrying is that August is going to be busy. Because August, we've got our oat field. That was oats, wasn't it? Yeah, that's cotton. Our oat will be ready to go. Our sugar beet will be ready to go. Our grapes will be ready to go. And our potatoes. So, yeah, it's going to be busy in August. But that's not a problem. It gives us a chance to buy some more machinery and equipment or lease some stuff, and we'll get a load more jobs done. I have cleared a few trees here as well. I don't know what my total's up to now. It's going to be something scary. What we're up to, 531. So I've done another 31 trees. They've been delivered to various different locations. So as you can see, I've been busy. That's got 108,000 litres in it. So that will tip into there once that runs down. And like I said, I've still got 445,000 litres over there. I've got gold that needs to be delivered. So again, like I do on my monthly cycle, when I see you next, we'll have a load more money in the bank. I've got the barley harvest to do, and we've got a load of, say, odd jobs to do. I still haven't taken any wool, so what I've taken the liberty of doing is I've bought a new trailer, which I'll talk about when we get over there. I have leased, no I haven't, I've bought a small tractor and a small mulcher for doing the mulching and the grapevines. So we're going to go and grab those. So I've got mulching to do, that to do. I've bought a small trailer that comes as part of the pallet storage. There. 153 grand on gold. Yeah, for the pallet storage, so I can move I can move eggs. I should be able to move the eggs. Honey and wool. I think it does wool. Pretty sure it does. So we'll get some of that moved so we get the spinnery up and running today as well. So yeah, there's a whole load of stuff that needs doing. I will kind of crack on with it. I'll show you the trailer actually. Why am I taking this with me? I don't need that over here. This needs to go over to the carpentry area. I have left the barrels and pallets chugging away. Not overnight. I set them off again this morning. Where I can set things to deliver and I can. Oh yeah, olives. We need to move some olives as well. We've got one pallet of olives from each of our new olive trees. Once I got one full pallet, I suddenly thought, okay, what I can do is set those to distributing as well. So my olives should go to my oil shack as my sunflowers do. My grass patches are growing nicely, which is where I kind of want to be. So if we just stop here, we should see now in here, yeah, sunflower 23,403, olives 7,490. So those olive trees are on distributing, but I do have the first 4 pallets that need to be brought over. I think have I got those on? Can't remember where we are. Triggers escapes me. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I haven't, because it's saying sunflower oil. I haven't set the olives off to produce olive oil yet, so that's okay. We'll just pop that to one side there. So these at the moment are both dormant, although I did, like I said, I did that login and I've topped this back up again, so we're up to 691,000 litres in there. That had come down to 600 odd, so that's topped up. And over here our barrels and pallets are continuing to be produced. I moved these ones over here out the way, and I've got more being produced over here. Now that could be to do with the fact that I normally with the obstruction, you know, if you try to place something it tells you there's obstructions in the way, because I turned that off. Mind you, there's no trees on, I don't know. Anyway, so that's still producing, that's all good as gold. We're going to go up and grab the new trailer. I'm going to grab the tractor. I've gone for the, well, it's the 20-foot gooseneck trailer that originally came out from 82 Studio, but then it was released, the 20-foot gooseneck trailer pack. So I've got that. I've got a trailer, like a container version of that. My thought being that using this pickup, if I put the water back on this and that, you'll see I can then move water and rocks at the same time for replenishing my line, because at the moment I'm going backwards and forwards with the pickup doing both, and it just made more sense if I've got that hooked up. What I probably need to do is can I remember which way it is? There we go, raise that up a bit, level it, there we go. So yeah, so I can put the water back on this and have that trailer, and I can move water and rocks and I can do the line at the same time. That's the theory behind that. Gives me another trailer, gives me options for moving things around, which will be very helpful. That comes as part of the pallet storage, and then we've got our mulcher, and we've gone for a Super Tigra. It's really small, low horsepower, but that only requires, I mean, something like 12 horsepower, something, a tiny amount, so I should be able to get between our grapevines and we'll get that going. The other thing I haven't done with grapevines, I haven't done pruning or anything like that, so we'll get into pruning at some point too. So on our way back, we'll whiz over, I'll just show the sugarcane expanse. I did put one of the roads in, I don't know if you saw the last episode, I did put a gravel track in, and then we'll whiz through, have a quick look up at the olive pallets. I guess I'm just doing it to kind of to prove I've done what I've said I've done, and to prove that I'm doing, you know, setting up the olives and then not showing olive pallets. So there we go. There's our sugarcane. That did take quite a bit of time. What I ended up doing, as you saw on the picture, that was one trailer load of seed. I just had to pile it all on and come backwards and forwards rather than keep taking the planter backwards and forwards to buy seed. That was my goof, where I think I put wheat down first. Realised I put wheat down first and switched to barley. So we'll just cultivate over that. That's not going to be a problem either. So I could put another track in. I might put another track in down there as well. Let's whiz through quickly then. And then we can get all of the odd jobs done that need to be done today. I'll get the harvester out, we'll get that going. And obviously then we'll collect the swath, straw will go into storage. I might put some of that. I don't need any more manure at the moment because it can go into my manure processor and I can do straw to manure, or I can use it to produce more silage if I want to as well, which I don't think I need to. But so I've left one pallet at each of these. These potatoes are going to go to the food production towards crisps, so I kind of do a 2/3, 1/3 split, or 3/4, 1/4 split, something along those lines. This I left chugging away, so our grass was chugging. We've now got 119,000 litres of silage. We've got straw in there, we've got hay, we've got grass. I can feed the sheep. I've got enough to make turtle mix ration as well as the hay bales we've got, so that's going to stay as it is for the time being. If I need to turn that back on again at any point to produce more silage, I can. Our monthly whiz round to check everything. That one is running. We've got 64,000 litres in there at the moment, and 85,000 litres of solid fertiliser has been produced, and then there'll be all the digestate to come over from the methane processing today as well. We'll whiz up and check on the eggs because I haven't moved any of those either. Actually, they're probably going to need feeding. So here's our olives. One pallet each. So I say I'll collect those, we'll take those over as well, and I can get olive oil being produced too. I'm not sure what I need that for yet, but we'll have a look. I just wanted to do olives. I haven't necessarily got any use for them yet. And then here, there we go, more eggs to go over here with all these they've produced so far, so that's all going brilliantly. Let's close that can go off. And I will see you in a little while when the methane's processed. I've delivered various different loads of methane. I'm going to fill up the methane tank by the gold as well. And yeah, keep everything chugging away. I'm not sure I'm going to top up the line. Yeah, I probably should really. So what I'll do is I'll drop this back off up there. We'll go and get more stone. I'll get more water. I'll get the lime up and running. I'm thinking I might buy, what are we looking at now? 1228. I'm just about to do all my production. The cows are producing really well. You know what I'm going to do? Let's do it. Let's go mad. So we're currently sitting here. I don't own those two. So let's buy that. Let's buy that. So I now own the plots all the way across to where I'm doing my work, which means if I take out those trees there, maybe a few here, I've got enough room to put another cow barn in next to it. So we'll get 2 cow barns running, or I could just add more cows into this one. Either way, but it will give me more option moving forward as well. So see you in a while. And actually what I could do, I'm going to get the harvester going, I think. So while I'm doing those other jobs, the harvester can be cracking on with the barley harvest. If that makes more sense, I will do that. Okay, I'm interjecting here before we finished for a reason. You can't make this up. I can't remember how many loads I've done of methane. That's now full again. I've just bought the last of the digestate we had on hand. Not digestate, silage. That's in and processing. All the potatoes are processed. You can get an idea of how much methane we have processed because digestate at the bottom right, we've got 230,000 litres of digestate has been produced. So that gives you some indication of how much silage we've put through it, how much methane has been produced in that ratio. But here's what happened. We got a great demand for methane. As if I'm not making enough money from the methane. I have also decided, while I was going backwards and forwards, I used that combination of the pickup and trailer. Thank you, Barris, for the idea for that. It worked perfectly for doing my lime, for doing the water and rock at the same time. So both my lime stations are prepped. One I've set to storing, one I've set to selling for my lime, just so I can stock up my lime. No, I don't want to be on that one. I've decided to buy another tractor, and I haven't. It's not that I've. Somebody said, "Why have I been resisting doing it?" I haven't been resisting doing anything, but I think I'm going to get a Kubota. We might be a bit orangey. It depends on the thumbnail. You might already know that. Probably thinking about it. So we went from 203,000 for a full load to 284,000. With the amount that's just gone in, we're going to clear 3 million. We were just over 1. I think what I might do into July, no, not into July, into August, I think I'll carry on as I'm doing, I'm chugging away. Those 2 plots of land that I've just bought, I will cut the grass on those, I'll deliver the grass to my processing and fill it up. But I think any digestate I produce into August, I won't do this process, this monthly process in August, because I think we'll have enough money for the time being for equipment. You know what's going to happen though? We'll get into August. All those fields that I said about are all going to be ready to harvest, and then we're going to be either buying or leasing different bits of equipment. If the potatoes are ready to go, I've got a couple of buildings I want to put in. Yeah, potentially. I'm just thinking maybe that's... But we'll see. I'll just gauge it. Because the thing about it is, if I've got the digestate there, and we know that the silage, it goes through the silage so quickly here, if I do need some more money, I can just bring more silage up, get this running, and I know I can process it. So... yeah, it's not a problem. Let's turn the engine off on that. I'm now going to go over and finish off the barley harvest. I'm on the 3rd unload, so of 29,000 litres odd. I think the first one might be 25, 26, and then on to 29s. So we'll be on the 3rd load. We've done all right on the barley, actually, I'm not going to lie. So we'll get the barley sorted. I'm going to put some of that into our production so I can produce more seed. The rest of the barley will either go to flour or it will go for chicken feed. Or I've still got some wheat left for chicken feed, and the chickens at the moment I'm not getting through huge amounts per month, but I've only got just over 1,000 chickens of a potential 5,000. So that's why we're not. Obviously, when we get to a point later on down the line when we've got a lot of chickens in there, I mean 1,000's a lot, but you know, when we're on to sort of 2, 3, 4,000 potentially, we're going to be getting through a fair amount of feed. So what I'm going to do now is grab the low loader, whiz up to the store. I'm going to grab the, what's it called? The thing, my little tractor, and the mulcher. We'll get the mulching done. Then I'm going to transport all the stuff I need to transport, our honey, our wool, and yep, harvest has stopped again. I've got bits of equipment scattered all over the place. So I'm going to grab the pickup with the back on it. We'll unload some more. Yeah, that's not... We'll probably get... every 3 or 4 runs, I'm getting about 30,000 litres. I seem to have done far better on the barley than I did on the wheat for some reason. The wheat I didn't get as much as I thought I was going to get. Barley I seem to be doing better. Maybe that's just my imagination, but yeah, it probably is. It's 7:32, and the great demand for methane treated us well. We were over 3 million, but I've bought myself a Kubota M8 201. That's a 200 horsepower. I've gone for twins. They're not narrow. I don't think they're narrow to them anyway. But yeah, I was away when the Kubota pack dropped, and I just hadn't kind of got round to it. And I think it's one of those things. I'm just as guilty of it as anybody else. Is when new stuff comes out, you just want to use it immediately. And sometimes I have found that it can be a bit contrived. You know, if I'm at the point where I want to buy something new, I'm ready to buy something new, and it's an option, then I think, you know what, I'm going to get one. But to just kind of get one for the sake of it. But I thought, you know what, I could do with another tractor anyway. We're up here, we bought the Super Tigra, why not get this as well? It's a very orangey kind of day. And we'll take this down, we'll get the mulching done. The harvest is complete of our barley. You know what, I did the same as I think I did with the wheat. When it was, the harvester was filling up at like 29,000 litres at a 29,000 litres at a time. I was thinking, oh, this is fantastic, we're going to get loads off of this. And it seemed to be yielding much better than the wheat did. Then for some reason the last kind of load, it didn't seem to. I'm pretty sure we've ended up with the same amount. I think we've got about 112,000 litres, which I think was what we got for wheat. So there was me saying it was a better yield. This is nice. It's a nice looking tractor, isn't it? So I've got a Kubota. We've got one. I haven't got one of the Kubota side by sides or the little, you know, I haven't got any friends to go with me, so. So what we're going to do is head down, we're going to get our mulching done. I'm going to stop by the pallet and barrels production on the way past. Then we're going to move. When we've done that, we'll come back over to the farm. I'll go and grab the trailer as well. I think I'll take the Kubota up. Or I might grab one of the small pickups. Now we use the Kubota. As soon as we bought it, we might as well use it. And we'll bring over that trailer and move the stuff that I said I was going to move. I just think we've probably run out of planks here. I switched off the barrels production to just have pallets, so I've got more pallets than barrels at the moment, and I think we have, yeah, we've run out of planks. Click on here, materials missing. Yeah, we got 21,000 litres of beams but no planks, so I'm going to need to set some more planks off at some point so I can keep that going. But we've got plenty to be getting on with our barrels and planks. Now we need to go down and mulch. And as I said, the 2 new plots we've bought, I will cut those. I will cut the grass off screen, as I've done before. That will go over into my storage again, as I've done before. And I can either produce hay with it, or all the various different silages, or the silage and digestate, and kind of keep tackling that. We ended up with, I think, over at the biogas plant, everything is processed through there now. 280,000 litres of digestate. So that'll be going over, and I'm going to be transforming that into fertiliser. I shouldn't have to worry about fertiliser for a very long time now. I've got plenty, to the point where I could probably even sell some if I wanted to, but I'm not going to for the time being. So yeah, so I can say I've been deforesting this bit. I think next episode I'm going to get the tree planter. I've been saying about doing it and trying to work it into, you know, when am I going to get round to it. I think it's probably about time. I haven't been down here to have a look at any of this for quite some time. I will mulch because I think next month this will be ready to harvest. Our poplars, obviously they're taking quite a bit longer, but our poplars are growing. They're just a tree, so they're going to take a lot longer. I think they run through a tree cycle. I think the full-grown trees, when you plant those, take a full 2 years, I think. I don't think the poplars take 2 years. And on this patch of ground, we're going to be placing some other things, which I have alluded to as well. So what we'll do is swing this round. Open the back up. Very cool. Oh, so it would be a good idea. Let's undo the strap to release it. It's got our Super Tigra. Like I say, it doesn't need a lot of horsepower. And you know, again, there are so many different mulchers that all require. I mean, I probably could have gone for a much wider one. I know I got kind of caught out when I did Calmsden, and that was my own doing. It was my own fault. I hadn't really placed them very well. Well, I've got to come over a little bit. So I think I'm trying too desperately to. There we go. Just come over a little bit. So I keep getting caught up on the vines. But anyway, so I'm going to mulch all this. Does that move over at all? That's horrible. Let's go down to here. No, it doesn't swing. I just keep getting caught up. Let's try and get a straight line and not getting caught. The little Super Tigra keeps bumping around, I think, on just uneven ground. It's just catching a little bit. So I'll do what I can anyway. It's going to take a while going up and down. I don't think this is not one of those jobs you can hire a worker for. We can try, I guess. It doesn't say hire workers. Well, it does hire our workers. We try. No. Doesn't like that one bit. So this, like all the other jobs I do, is going to take some time. But I wanted to make sure I was doing it. I could have gone for one of the larger from the Antonio Carrero pack. I could have gone for a slightly larger tractor, but this will do the job. I didn't, you know, it just needed to be something I could buzz around, do a bit of work, not keep hitting the vines like we've got here, and just get on with it. I'm more than happy plodding up and down. Swing around, go down this side, and I'll do alternate sides as I go. That will take out stuff the other side, and everything in between. So yeah, there are quicker and easier ways. I could have got, like I said, I could have got a wider mulcher and done one strip up each time, but I'm quite happy with this. So I'm going to either crack on and get this done now, or I'll do this off camera. I'll need to go over to the farm. We need to get the barley sorted out and put away, put some in to get some seed produced, and then we'll go and get our trailer and we'll get all of those, the rest of the things that we've got to deliver. I keep saying about the wall. I've been saying it for 2 episodes, I think, and I just haven't got it done. So but it's time to buy a trailer. We'll give it a go. It's the trailer that comes with the pallet storage, so it should work. He says. I don't want to be. Do I want to come down this one? Yeah, let's come down this one next. And when this is ready to harvest, we're going to get a lot more grapes than we did when I did it on Calmsted. So we should have enough to get the grape processing plant running, which I haven't done yet either. I haven't run grapes. I know we're a long way. You know, since November, we're now July. This is my first foray into doing. I mean, I did grapes, but I mean like proper grape production. It just goes to show as well how much stuff came with FS22. You know, there are so many productions, so many modded things, and you know, so much stuff that's come out. There's all these things to try out, and because of the nature of the way it takes for each of the things to grow over however many months and that kind of thing, I haven't got around to doing a lot of the processes. It's, that's cool. Okay, so the mulch. I will carry on with the mulching later on. We'll get it done. I've got the small trailer. This, like I say, this comes with the pallets storage. What I'll do is just pull that to the side for the moment. Let's get this delivered. I'll take the trailer in while we're at it. We can put that away. So I've got 108,200 litres in the back of the pickup, and then I've got another 3,000 and something. So yeah, probably about the same as what we got before. I'm not sure how much of this I want to put in. Maybe 20,000 litres for seed. Yeah, let's look at doing that. Find a home for this trailer while we're at it. So what we'll do is just disconnect that. So it's going to go quite quick, I think. do. Let's go on to there. So, our grass silage, hay silage, that's all still going. We've already got another 28,000 litres of silage ready to go. So we've got our barley in. So wheat seed, barley seed, or even corn seed. So it's a 1-to-1, same as it was the wheat seed. We'll just click on barley seed. So the 20,000 we put in should now go to, where's our seed? There we go. We've got 14,000 in at the moment. So yeah, it just doesn't hurt to have a bit of a stock built up. So every time I do a harvest like that, we'll put some in. I might even put a bit of the corn in. So again, we should then get to a point where we're not reliant on buying seed either. And I think what I'll do with that crop next to us, the wheat field there, that whole crop will probably go to making seed. Maybe. I'll decide at some point. It's no different. I'm finding a lot now with all the various different processes available and all the things I've got running, that it gets a little bit like it did with subscriber contracts. Trying to keep track of everything you've got. When you start scrolling down your production chains menus and suddenly realise just how many things you've got, it's quite overwhelming. Is the wrong word. It's not overwhelming. It's, you know, it's all manageable, but it's just a lot to keep a track on. You know. Right, what I've got to try now then is bring over that trailer. I'll do the wool first. I think I've probably got about 3,000-4,000 litres of wool, something like that. I'm just going to go and get the rest of the barley because there's a little bit left in the harvester. What I'm thinking as well is potentially those two plots I bought, if we go up and have a look. So where were we? Over there. So yeah, these two plots here, that one and that one. Just thinking if there's a lot of deforesting need to be done first, a lot of forest work. I was just thinking if I cleared those, I could put in another big field, or maybe do one that follows the contours. I could have it'll be an odd-shaped field, but you know, I might do that. Let's do something a little bit different, and keep the forests where they are, and plough out a field that actually follows around the edges across all of these, because I've cut some of these trees back here already. So we could have it'd be a strange-shaped field, but maybe have that one as a seed field. So if I put barley or or corn or wheat into it, I mean that one's wheat at the moment, then anything harvested off that can then go for just making seed. I'm not sure just how much sugar beet we're going to get off that. I'm still I can't get my head around that. I can't believe I even did that. What was I thinking? Well, once this one's harvested of corn, I might buy that one above, and then this will become a double that way, I think, maybe. Again, it's all just ideas. Pie in the sky stuff, we'll have a think about it. I'll move the harvester back in a bit. And obviously I've got the straw swaths to collect, we'll sort out those. We'll get all that into storage. So what I'll do, this will now go into storage in a moment, but I'll swap over my vehicles. Let's jump into the Kubota. And let's see if we can't get this to work. And I'll take the honey over. So, thank you to all the people that commented regarding when I was saying about the pallets or the planks. 4,000 litres, there we go. So we've put it into here. A lot of people were saying that if you've got multiple productions running that all require the same thing, if you set those things to distributing, it will distribute them evenly among whichever facilities you've got that require them. So if I've got two facilities producing planks and I've got two facilities that require planks, I suppose technically it becomes a 1-to-1, but it depends on which ones produce more than the others, because I know my sawmill produces planks way quicker than the north sawmill. And then it just comes down to how you want to split. So you might want to set one and it will send to 2 different places, and then the other one you might want to collect yourself. But yeah, thank you to everyone that commented. Quite a few people did, saying that that's how it works. It's not something, I mean, when you think about it, it kind of makes perfect sense. It's logical, why wouldn't it? But I hadn't really tested it, so. I think that's the other thing as well that's been quite glaringly obvious with FS22. When previous versions came out, and a lot of my early videos would all be just test videos of trying things out, there's so much stuff that can be tested, and so many ways of testing it, so much information that's available. Now, I just need to double check this because I can't remember. Zone markers will be around this side, aren't we? Now, I don't know if it'll unload directly from here. I hope it does. Otherwise, I'm going to have to take the pallets out. Wool, there we go. So we're now delivering the wool. Now this is also part of the what's it called? I'm going to have to go into the build mode because I can't remember what it's called, and I don't want to get it wrong. Packing facility. So this spinnery is part of the packing facility, and as far as I'm aware, they all produce faster, I think. Yeah, cycles per month. 12,000. So this is going to produce our fabric really quickly, which is making me think I'm probably going to want to get, although some point, so there we go. I'm going to want to get some more sheep because I'm going to need to really ramp up my production. But then that being said, when the cotton field's done, unlike when I've done cotton contracts before, on Carmson I did cotton contracts and I had cotton left over, all of this cotton is mine. That was what I was saying to MrSealyp today, actually. It was interesting that, who was it? I think it was Bear and Papa. Somebody messaged me, I think it was Bear and Papa, about changes since the 1.6 update regarding contract work. That before, I know I got cross and people absolutely hammered me in the comments for, you know, I'm not going to go into that again, but about the lack of extra stuff. You know, you always used to do contracts before and you'd have loads spare and that would be yours to keep, and the argument being that if you're contracting with someone else, why should you keep the stuff? I get that, I really do. My only argument or complaint was that's kind of what we'd all got used to, and then it's that kind of, why did it get changed? Well, apparently, and again, this is my first, I'm not running contracts on here, am I? So I haven't had any reason to check the contract situation. If you buy something like the grain mill, and then what was happening was you could use that as a delivery point because you had a contract. Then when you bought the grain mill, what you delivered there was there already for you to kind of keep. It was a bit of a dodgy one. But then if you then had contracts that came up in the future to deliver to your grain mill, you would deliver them to the grain mill, you'd get paid for delivering it as part of the contract, as part of a harvest or whatever it was. But then obviously because you owned the grain mill, you got the grain mill. Apparently that's not the case anymore. Apparently if you deliver something from a contract, you don't get it. Now that's weird to me, because if I was the owner of a grain mill, and I was also a farmer, if I was contracted to do some farm work for someone else and deliver the stuff there, surely if I was the grain mill owner, then I would have the grain, wouldn't I? Because I own it. So it's a weird one. Now, I haven't tested that. It was just a conversation that was had. But it's weird how these things get changed, and you know, my question often is why? Who's it hurting? Who's it hurting if you do have the stuff? Who's, you know, it's not really, you know, I need to bring all those other eggs down. Seed, and what was that thing I was going to do? Gone past it. Ah. Oh, there we go. Starting to panic. Actually, while I'm doing that, I think I've got some more here. I don't know if I can load, whether it will take it from there or whether it will take it from these. So what I might do, let's grab one of these. I've got another 5 here, so we'll grab them. They're only 400 litres. They're not 1,000 pallets, are they? So I don't know if it will take it from me or whether it will go into the storage. But let's double check. Yeah, we'll take the honey over and get that delivered as well. And the eggs, to be fair, I'm just going to put into the storage because I don't have any need for the eggs at the moment. Oh, that was close. Let's see if I can put one. I don't think this will take directly. I could be wrong. Well, some do, some don't. Because there's a few of these different ones available now. Don't think so. This isn't one that's designed to go and collect. I think it just works out the pallet storage. Let's try it. No. Okay, I'm going to just take these over, put them into the storage, and just put it down. If you get that bit of lagginess, just lift it up at the furthest distance, then it stops doing that juddering. Okay. Oh, the other thing was olives, wasn't it? I've got those 4 pallets of olives. We'll do those, and that'll be probably... I think I've got so much work to do off screen now, haven't I? Got all that mulching to do, got the straw swaths to collect. That field's going to need repurposing. It's going to need fertilising, cultivating, and prepping. Grass to cut. Yeah, quite a fair bit. Let's get this back over. Okay. Bear with me. I'll get that loaded and I will see you in a minute. 10,000 litres of honey to go to our cereal food factory processing division. Let's get that in. That's just going to stay in storage for the time being until we're ready to produce cereal. That's what we're going to be doing. We've got oats field ready. That's going to be ready probably tomorrow. We've got our grapes being processed. We're going to turn into raisins, so we're going to get there. 35,000 litres of potatoes in here already. Sunflower oil, 12,542. I thought it would have more sunflower oil in here than that. Anyway, so now we're back over. I've taken the liberty with the telehandler of grabbing the 4 pallets of olives. Like I said, the restaurant distributing, they're going straight to the oil shack. But those 4 I just need to collect. So I've put them into the storage facility and then we'll grab them. Just thinking now with the other one of these, I'll just show you, just because it's on my mind at the moment as I'm thinking about it. That's the standard one. Then we've got these 2 as part of the pallet storage, the product transporter and that one, but then we've got, have I got it installed? That one out there, the auto load. It does say honey and stuff, but I found weirdly that's got a larger capacity. It would pick stuff up from the ground, but then wouldn't unload at certain places. I might get one of those and try it. I might lease one and give it a go. It does say potatoes. Did that say potatoes, or did I dream that? That made life a lot easier. I know it does all the ones from the... Hang on, moved over. There we go. If it does all the ones from the potato farm, maybe that would be a way to go. What have we got on there? Yeah. I don't think it does regular potatoes, but if I run the potatoes through that process... Maybe. Let's go and grab the olives. And then we'll get back. And I've got a ton of work. Oh, who was it asked me the other day? Big Papa C mentioned it. Remember, now, this you've got to bear in mind. I can't remember. I thought I'd saved a screenshot, but I don't think I did. Of the... If you think up to the update, when the forestry people came through, I can't remember what hours I was up to at that point. 100 and something hours at that point. And I'd cut down however many trees I'd cut down. Then we reset and we went again. So this is the hours I've been on here. Time played 139. So we're 139 hours plus 100 and something. So 239 hours. Now bear in mind, this was what Big Papa C mentioned to me. He said, you think about it when you talk about behind the scenes work. We're on, what are we on, episode 23? 24. Not every one of them has been an hour long, but just assume that they were an hour long. That's 24-hour episodes, which they haven't been. That's 24 hours. To get those 24 hours of footage, I've done 200 plus hours of gameplay. So, yeah, that is quite scary actually. It does kind of put it into perspective how much stuff goes on. That's what, again, another reason why I did that behind the scenes video. Wow. And I've loved every minute of it. I'm absolutely thoroughly enjoying it. All the grass cutting, all the tree cutting, all the stuff I'm doing off camera, I really am enjoying, because it's that kind of, it's time for me to do farming, just for me to enjoy. So there's our olives going in, 4,000 litres. They will go to the rest that have been distributing, and then what I'll do, we'll get them over to the oil shack, and then we'll get some olive oil being produced as well. We'll put that, I'm just thinking actually, how are we looking? Fabric's going well already. I'm trying to think, where does the food factory require it? How are we looking on solid fertiliser? Wow, that's all produced. I've still got that 280,000, I forgot about that as well, 280,000 litres of digestate to bring over to go into there. We're going to have a fair bit on hand, aren't we? Where's our production? Here we go. So do we need olive oil on it? Oh, we do, yeah, look, olive oil. That was for the salads, wasn't it? I think it was just the salads. Now that's something we can do. If we are producing olive oil now, because we've got the olive trees, we could switch over production once we've got more potatoes on hand as well, to do 1 or 2 to do lettuce, 1 or 2 to do tomatoes, and we can do the salads as well. And we're going to have plenty of sugar cane, so that's not going to be a problem. So we can do tomato ketchup further down the line as well. All these different things. I was thinking that I'm doing olives. I'm going to make olive oil. Where am I going to use it? That's where I'm going to use it. Or I could just sell it. Just sell the olive oil if I want. Right. So not olive oil. Just olives. It's too much stuff. And I keep saying, you go back to FS19 or FS17, the thought of doing this would boggle your mind. And now it's like, whoa, olives, there we go. It's absolutely crazy that you're scrolling through menus of all these lists of different things. And I suppose it's no different to when, on FS19, when you get a map with different crop types, getting a new crop type is a massive thing, This map's got this crop and this map's got this crop. I would still like to see coffee as a kind of standard in-game one, to be able to do a coffee plantation, or, I mean, that'd be quite cool. Or tea, you imagine doing, that'd be quite cool as well. Grow tea and have a plant that processes into tea leaves. You could have then tea bags, and you could do anything, couldn't you? I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud, but... Well then, another busy episode. I think I've got, most of the little bits and bobs I wanted to get done. The mulching is not complete yet. And then all the other jobs, then the knock-on of that I said I was going to do off-screen, that wasn't stuff that was on my list. The list of jobs for this episode, I think I've done. So we'll get this in, we'll get the olive oil being produced, and I'll also get that being, I think we'll distribute that immediately. That would make sense if we just have it onto distributing straight into the other facility. Well, I wouldn't mind seeing a pallet of it. So I think what we'll do to start off with, let's hop out. Let's click on to, where's our production? I did this last time. It's here, isn't it? Oh, there we go. So our sunflower oil is going. We've got 12,000 litres of olives in here now. So let's get that going. At the moment, our olive oil is saying storing. I'll get at least one pallet because I want to have I know what they look like because there's been the pallets you can buy, but these will be the first ones I've produced myself. So I'll get at least one pallet, and then we'll set the rest to distributing, and that will distribute over to our facility. Yeah, with that, we've come to the end of another episode. They do fly by, don't they? I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.